Congressman, thanks very much for being here. Your reaction to Pete Buttigieg?
Too little, too late. No leadership at all. Basically, he's being shamed into going. And again, I don't want him to do photo ops. I want you to actually take the disaster seriously, actually do the job that you're supposed to do, and frankly, get ahead of these issues. He's supposed to be leading. He does not. He talks a good game, but there's really been no action from the man. So I'm trying to figure out what he actually is doing in his day-to-day role as Secretary of Transportation.
Well, we all are. I mean, we had a major supply crisis a year ago, and he was MIA. We had another crisis 6 months after he was MIA, and now he's saying that he's all about action, but he still hasn't told us when he's going to go to Palestine, Ohio.
Totally agree. There is no plan. If he was concerned, he would have come out with, well, here's what we're going to do to remedy the situation. Here's the other protocols we're going to put into place. Here's how we're going to check rail lines across that section of the United States and other sections as well. The Transportation Department is about logistical issues through the country. Well, where is his plan? He has none. It's all talking points. We'll see what happens as this thing moves forward. But it's been a tragedy for the country and for the people of East Palestine.
Well, should he step down? I mean, what are you going to do about it as an elected official?
Oh, I think he should step down long ago because he doesn't do his job. What we need to do is actually investigate him in the Oversight Committee, see what actually is happening with his role in oversight and how they're either doing the job or not doing the job. Because one thing is clear with this administration, and it's not just what's going on in East Palestine. We're seeing it here in Southwest Florida. FEMA still has 3,200 people on a waiting list to get trailers, and they're using the excuse of a floodplain as to why they can't bring trailers in to help people in my congressional district. This administration does not lead. Tragedies happen, crises occur, they throw out talking points, they say they're going to be there forever, but when the cameras are gone, so are they. And it's ludicrous, and we're going to hold them accountable for it.
Well, this is very disturbing. Mike Baker, jump in.
Yeah, Congressman, I couldn't agree with you more. Look, I don't know that this administration is all about competency. It seems like they're more about performative art. But all that Pete Buttigieg would have had to do was show up at the time of this tragedy, of this mishap, this accident, however you want to phrase it, with members of the NTSB and the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Administration and others, and be there, right? It's not a photo op, it's leadership. But what can Pete Buttigieg at this point do as the head of the Department of Transportation to rectify the situation? I mean, what logically can he do at this point?
Well, look, I'm a call on experiences I had through Hurricane Ian and before Congress, Hurricane Irma. What you can do when you're an elected official is you can still get on the ground and ascertain what's moving too slow. Because of his title, because of his position in the administration, he has the force of will to either A, get to the president to get it done quickly, or to move those resources in a much more expeditious fashion. Yeah. I've seen it done firsthand here on the ground where you work between agencies. And, you know, if I make a call and I say, hey, I know you said you're going to do this, but it needs to happen tomorrow, people hop too. That's what you can do. You don't need cameras following you around to do that. Actually, I would respect him more if they weren't following him around to do that. But that's the work that you do when you're in elected capacity or a leadership capacity.
Well, we're also wondering about all of this money sent to Ukraine. The president is in Poland, as you know, but House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer wants one of the Biden's former associates to testify about the Biden family influence peddling in China, with China. He's a former foreign minister of Serbia, being described as a key witness who could describe Joe Biden's involvement with CEFC China Energy in 2015. That's that email, 10 held by H for the big guy. This was the beginning of their relationship, and they were putting the terms together for CEFC in partnership with China. We still are questioning why Joe Biden never keeps China to account. COVID-19, a cover-up, no investigation of the origins of COVID-19, years and years of intellectual property theft, and now the spy balloon, the surveillance on American citizens, and yet Joe Biden doesn't raise any of these issues with Xi Jinping.
No, he doesn't. And the issue that we're seeing very clearly is that his son and his brother have been engaged in business dealings with the Chinese government for many years. One of the reasons that Joe Biden, in my opinion, is pushing for solar panels and electric batteries and electric vehicles so hard is because his son facilitated the sale of a cobalt mine to a Chinese company. Cobalt is critical in the creation of electric batteries for electric vehicles, critical element for solar panels. So we know that there are serious issues affecting America's domestic and international policies with respect to China. This is why oversight has to investigate these matters. Because if the president is basically in cahoots with the business dealings of his family and he's setting domestic and international policy, that's a serious issue for the American people, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
This is so disturbing, Congressman. We're going to be watching how this plays out and where this goes. Thanks very much for being here this morning, Congressman. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Byron Donalds joining us in Florida.